What is up, guys? So we've got a Zefra deck profile for you here today. Zefra is such a unique archetype. I mean, it's this pendulum archetype that's focused more on kind of control and stuff, but at the same time it can do all of these different summons, and it's a really cool deck. I also like the lore. The lore of Zefra is probably second only to the new World Legacy lore we've got, because I mean, everything about it is so cool. If you haven't looked at the dual terminal lore, guys, I really implore you, go and find out about it. Just go and Google Zefra lore, Yugioh lore. It is so interesting. That's why it's mixed with all of these different archetypes, because there is a story behind it and it is really cool. But let's get into that deck profile, because I know that's what you're here for. So we start with free Zefra. This card, it's so amazing. It's funny, this is one of those monsters that it's so cool, but I don't think I've ever actually summoned it. But it is amazing for the archetype. It's a boss monster that doesn't actually ever come out on the field. But yeah, it's an level 11 Earth Rock Pendulum. I mean, everything about this monster is just unique and epic. Its artwork, I mean, oh gosh, this card is so cool. But anyway, let me stop waxing about this card anyway. So it's a pendulum effect. During your main phase, you can add a pendulum monster from your deck to your extra deck face up. And if you do, change this card's pendulum scale to be the same as that pendulum monster's till the end of this turn. So obviously what that's going to do is it means it can modulate its pendulum effect to pendulum scale to be whatever scale you need, while also additionally searching whatever pendulum monster you need to search. So 9 times out of 10 you're going to use this to search the Zefra Nui, but yeah, this is a really good scale, and you always want to see this in your hand. We have several ways to search this. We can search this through Gallant Granite, we can search through Oracle of Zefra, we can search through Zefra Providence, so we're always going to see him in our hand. It's hard to not see him, and he is crucial to all of our combos. Moving on from that, we play 3 Zefra Nui. When he's special summoned, he's going to search a Yangzing or Zefra card from our deck to our hand. So this is going to be our secondary kind of starter. This alongside having this alongside the 9 pillars and the Zefra Divine Strike means we always have access to a nice counter trap, and Zefra Wars, or we have counter traps or pops that we can access to disrupt our opponent whenever we want to. Moving on from that, we play 2 Zefra Sciton, which is going to pop set cards your opponent controls, and then we are going to play 2 Zefra Thurbin, which is going to destroy face up cards your opponent controls. So these are nice normal summons. This deck does not need this normal summon at all, so we have a lot of different cards to just abuse the fact that it doesn't need it. We play 1 Zefra Core. When this is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Zefra card. When it's special summon pendulum summoned or sent to the graveyard, you can target a Zefra card in your pendulum zone and special summon it. So this is nice because obviously it can act as a kind of like a pseudo rank 4 engine just by itself if you have one of the rank 4s in the extra deck, which is nice. Then you play 1 Zefra Wendy because it recycles cards. So if it's normal pendulum summon, you can add a face up Zefra monster from your extra deck to your hand, which is going to be nice obviously to make your pendulum summons always work out. And Zefraxi will change a Yangzing monster into a tuner, a Zefra Yangzing monster into a tuner. So this is the main way we are going to get into calamities in this deck. Yes, this deck can bring out calamities. Can you believe it? It's mad. It's so mad. I love Zefras. But yeah, moving on, we have our Zefra spells and traps. So you play 3 Zefra Providence, such as any Zefra card, banish it from the graveyard if a Zefra card would be destroyed. So this is an amazing spell card, of course. 1 Zefra Path. Zefra Path is such a unique floodgate, and it actually completely destroys the meta. So what this card does is if you have 2 Zefra cards in your pendulum zones with active scales of 1 and 7, you can activate this. When it's activated, shuffle all monsters you control into the deck except Zefra monsters. Neither player can special summon monsters except from the hand and extra deck. While you have a card in your pendulum zone, this card can't be targeted. Guys, this card is amazing. So firstly, it means your opponent can't special summon from the deck, they can't special summon from the graveyard. And then it also means they can't do things like activate their spell traps on the field to special summon. So against Eldritch, they can't summon anything. The only thing they can do is use the Eldritch effect to bring himself out from the graveyard and special summon himself onto the field. That's the only thing they can do. They can't special summon the Eldritches from the graveyard. They can't special summon the Eldritches from any of their traps on the field. They can't special summon the Eldritches from the deck. I mean, this card is amazing. It's Adamantipator. Block Dragon's not coming out anytime soon. None of their Adamantipator cards are going to be able to search from the deck and special summon from the deck anytime soon. It's incredible. This is a really strong floodgate, a really unique floodgate, and it's definitely going to make waves in there. I really think someone is going to top with this deck just because that floodgate is so hard to deal with. And yes, they can destroy a card in your pendulum zone, but they have to destroy a card in your pendulum zone in the first place, and you've got Zefra Providence to stop them doing that. So it's very unlikely they're going to have 2 destruction effects because you search as part of you can search as part of your combo. It's so unlikely your opponent's going to have 2 separate destruction effects to get around the Zefra Providence firstly, and then to actively destroy the card in your spell, and they can't special summon at all to do that. I mean, this card is awesome. We really like like Zefra Path, and that's how you play it. I mean, you don't need it more than one because it's so easy to get to, but this is such a good card. It is a huge boon in the deck. Moving on from that, we have 3 Oracle of Zefra, which is again going to search any Zefra monster, and then it also has a bunch of different effects depending on what kind of summon you do with your Zefra monsters. And I will show a combo at the end of this that allows us to bring calamities as a result of this, because it basically means you can search any monster in your deck. You can search, I think it's any monster, or is it any card? So yeah, you know, you can search any monster in your deck as a result of Oracle of Zefra, which is amazing. Then we play 1 Zefra War, which is going to destroy cards on the field, which is lovely. 1 Zefra Divine Strike, which is going to be our first counter trap, and 1 Yangzing Pillars, which is going to be our second. This is a particularly nice counter trap because it shuffles the card back into the deck, so it's nice against things like Alistair, for example, where they normal summon Alistair, and it's like, oh, okay, they have an invocation in hand anyway, well, Alistair's back in the deck, so I don't know how they plan to use that invocation. So 9 Pillars is a really nice counter trap. Then moving on to the extra deck. Now, this is the other unique thing about Zefra. Zefra is, even though they can summon so many things from the extra deck, they only have one of their own extra deck monsters. And so you have a lot of flexibility in how you play your extra deck. So I play Chao Feng, Ravenous, and Calamities as a kind of package so that I can get into that true king of all calamities. 1 Cyframe Lord Omega, because that's going to go with my Cyframe Lord Gamma. 1 Sheridan, because I have a lot of level 6 and he's just a generically good rank 6. Gallic Granite to search out my Zephyr. Tornado Dragon, because it's a good rank 4 to have. Abyss Dweller, another good rank 4. And then just generic kind of link monsters. So we have Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn Threats, Appaloosa, because it's quite easy to get into. Access Code and Boral Sword, because they are good link 4s for ending games. And then Beat Cop and Masquerade, again, good link 2s. And then as you can see in the main deck, other than the Zephyr cards, it's just hand traps. So I play Gamma because it's a pendulum deck. So Gamma is probably the best kind of protective hand trap, and it's good for going second as well. Nibiru, because it's searchable, very easily searchable. So if I already have Zephyr, I can just search Nibiru. Kaku, he is good for going second, but his main purpose is to get into that calamity. Pardon me, get into that calamities for my deck. And then moving on from that, in the extra deck, it's just the generic kind of going second card. So I'm going to quickly show you a combo in terms of how to get into that true king of all calamities and kind of the standard boards you can make with this deck. So guys, this is a standard card, so this is the kind of combo you will go through to get into that calamity. So Oracle of Zefra firstly, so I'm going to add, so I've already got the level 7 Zefra sides and level 1, that's going to come at level 1, so let's add the Zefra Nui to my hand. I'm going to activate Zefraf and Zefra Saiton in scales, and I'm going to use Zefraf to send Zefraxi, I think the name is, to my extra deck. So let's send Zefraxi. Then I'm going to pendulum summon here. This is going to allow me to search. Now Zefra Nui, I'm actually going to search my Yangzing Path, or not my Yangzing Path, sorry, my Zefra Path. And then with Zefra Nui, I'm going to, so Zefra Nui is going to search, Zefraxi is going to turn that into a tuner. So let's activate Zefraxi and let's put that Zefra Path in my hand. Now, this is where you need to make sure you're activating a Zefra Path if you do search it, so that you don't get rid of monsters that you've just searched. But yeah, so I've activated Zefra Path. Now my opponent is locked out of doing a lot of things in terms of in their deck, which is really good. Then I'm going to summon a Ravenous Crocodile, blah blah blah. It's got some names that I can't pronounce. You know me, I'm good at not pronouncing names. But then, so the first thing we can do is activate Ravenous Crocodile as Chain Link 1, activate Oracle to put Kaku on top of my deck as Chain Link 2. Now what that means is that Kaku is going to get instantly drawn by that Ravenous Crocosaur, which is really good. And then I can use Kaku's effect to special summon himself for free. Kaku special summons himself. And then also I had Pops. If I wanted to, I could have discarded him to use Pops. And then let's bring out True King of all Calamities. So my opponent can only special summon from the hand next deck, and Calamities is going to completely lock off monster effects. And I haven't used my normal summon, by the way, and I had a rotate in my hand. So that is the kind of 2.5/3 card combo you have in this deck. So guys, Zefra is really good. I would definitely suggest trying this deck. It's going to be a really strong rogue option for this format and deal with a lot of decks. If you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like on this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more great content. I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.